Okay, here we are Saturday at 1:30 in the afternoon. I just watched this is the day after I came home, the day after I drove home from Jacksonville, and I watched the previous clips that I made so far, and I thought to myself, man, I'm not going to win any awards for this whole video thing. My personality is absolutely horrible. I really sound, I'm saying, yeah, I'm fine, I feel great, and it looks like I'm half dead, but it's some of it's taking the oxycodone because it's just I've never taken narcotics of any kind before, and the stuff is just hammering me. So I'm talking slow, trying to measure my words, make sure I get the right words out. It's pretty funny. And the first clip before I went in for the surgery, I was pretty nervous. I was definitely in. When I got there to the OR, I was just pretty quiet because it's a pretty big deal. I've never had any kind of major surgery like this before. So anyway. The last clip was driving home yesterday. It did take 3.5 hours. It really was miserable because we got hung up with that pharmacy situation. But we got home, and the drive was very difficult. I guess I would say it's about what I expected. It really set me back. As I said in the previous clip, when I was in the hospital, I could have gone home a day earlier. I could have gone home Thursday. I had the operation Tuesday morning. So Tuesday morning, Wednesday, I could have gone home Thursday afternoon, no problem, if I just had to drive across town or lived, within half an hour or whatever. But having a 2.5-hour drive, which turned into a 3.5-hour drive, it's a good thing I waited because it really did beat the crap out of my back. And in spite of the fact that I did have the meds that I needed when we got done with the pharmacy situation. So I got home yesterday. We had some friends, some neighbors came over and visited. I was standing around, walking around. I just had more pain. It just kind of set me back, even though I was still taking the right amount of pain meds. But today, and it really did set me back, that long ride. If you have a long ride, you can expect that. But I was able to do it. I spent 3.5 hours in it. And my wife's truck for a new Ford F-150, so it's comfortable, but so who wants to spend 3.5 hours in a truck a couple days after back surgery? But it can be done, and it really wasn't. I would do it again. I would definitely. I went to this particular hospital because I wanted a certain surgeon and procedure and so forth, and I would definitely do it again. It's just an unfortunate setback on the way back. So last night was my first night at home. We have one of those air mattress things. I forget what the brand name is. And then we have a foam topper on top of that. I couldn't sleep with the brace on last night. I did sleep with the brace on at the hospital, and I was actually quite comfortable with it, which was surprising. Who would think you could sleep with something like this on? But at first I was complaining about the hospital bed. It was one of these things that's automatic, inflating and deflating with all these chambers and everything else. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. What, this is just nuts. Well, I have to backtrack on that. I appreciate now just how well that thing worked at relieving the pressure points, and especially I was laying on a little bit of an angle up, and I had this brace on it. It relieved all the pressure points. I can't believe it in hindsight now. But so I couldn't sleep with a brace last night. I really wanted to because it just I think it just gives you that much better, just a chance at your fusion taking sooner and whatnot. But so I guess I'll be sleeping without the brace unless I figure something else out new. I've taken a couple of naps on the couch today with the brace on. Not too bad. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But my surgeon said he got a very strong fixation in my back, so I don't really have to worry about that. It's just, it's just a little better, just a little more conservative. So as far as managing the pain meds, I had thought that I was going to maybe, taper down a little bit. The PA, when I left Edward yesterday, was very nice. He said, try and back off a little bit. I've tried a couple times, and even throughout the night, I was taking 20 milligrams of oxycodone. I have to keep pausing like that because I just can't remember stuff. It's really funny. 20 milligrams of oxycodone every 3 hours. And so, long story with the stupid meds, I wound up with 15 milligram pills of oxycodone, and so I just tried taking just those every 3 hours last night. I set an alarm on the phone and wake me up, just get up, down, a little sip of water in the pill. Well, by the time I woke up this morning, I was behind the curve. I was really hurting a lot, but I knew I could, I got up and it was very painful. And I just got back on the full 20 milligrams, actually with the Tylenol, because I have these two stupid prescriptions. One is, I don't even know if the brand name is Percocet. I don't know what's it. Both of them are oxycodone. One has the acetaminophen in it, and that's actually, there's another inconsistency. It's something I said earlier about in the hospital, that Percocet wasn't doing it for me. It wasn't the issue. They couldn't give me more Percocet by pill because it had too much acetaminophen in it, and you don't want to start taking high doses of that corresponding to high doses of Percocet. So for those of you who know what you're talking about, which I don't, you'll be happy that I corrected that. The oxycodone is working very well, is the bottom line. That's what's in Percocet in the first place. I hope I got that right. Finally, maybe I'll have to correct it again. I don't know. So you know, the oxycodone is awesome. When I take it, it's very interesting. I've never taken any. I've taken literally 2 pills of narcotics in my life. I've never taken any drugs of any kind. So I've never had taken strong pain meds. So, you know, when you take it, there's kind of this phase you go through, you know, in short order. You kind of get lightheaded, kind of hits me in about a half an hour. And then a lot of times I'll take a nap, a very pleasant nap, very restful for maybe 45 minutes or an hour, and then I'm up. Kind of varies. But once I'm still on that 20 milligrams, it's just awesome. I mean, and I'm finally back in one piece here now, you know, without the back down to the 2 or 3 pain level that I was before I left the hospital with the ride home. So it's going great. Again, this is Saturday, so I've got this brace which I wear. It is kind of hot. It's actually already chafing a little bit under here. It's a little tight on my chest. I've got a TENS unit over here. I don't know what brand it is, doesn't matter. That actually helps. I was kind of skeptical. I'd had 1 or 2 of those previously and they didn't really do anything. This helps with keeping the muscle spasm kind of thing down. I've got 4 pads around where the incisions are in my back, and it really is, it feels good. When I turn on, I run it for 40 minutes, and I suppose I can do that once an hour if I want, although I wait several hours to just clip it on the thing here. I'm going to get up and show you just how much I can move around here in my fancy plaid. So I mean, I can walk around no problem. I usually use a walker. I've got a walker right here. And I do it mostly, you know, if I sit in a bar stool over at the counter, I'll sit in that, and the height's nice because I can just take a little weight off of my back. It feels a little better. But I mean, you know, this is pretty straightforward. Let's see let me read some other notes I have here. Peeing is still a problem, you know, getting to start a stream to pee. They were supposed to send me home with some med. I don't know. I've never had any problems in that department before, but it's okay. You know, it's just kind of a nuisance, and it's not like I have to be someplace in a hurry anyway. They did send me home with a bedside commode for whatever reason. You know, I said, yeah, just send it to me. I haven't had to use that or fiddle around with that thing at all. Excuse me, get up in the middle of the night, can make my way to the bathroom without any trouble. Still haven't figured out how to really clean myself. My wife is still helping me in that department, although I've actually been very constipated since I left the hospital again, kind of on a roller coaster there. So see, that's the only real question that still stands out in my mind. But, you know, this is definitely over the hump. The radiating pain, I think, I'm not sure, I didn't mention fully, I had radiating pain into my groin, actually, which is unusual. I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier or not. That's unusual. Normally, L5S1, you get pain going down, the radiating pain goes down people's legs. That's kind of the typical pain pattern. My surgeon said, you know, this is not typical, but he says, I've seen people have pain almost everywhere from herniations and compressions anywhere. He says, so that doesn't, just because you're not a classic case in terms of where the pain is and how it feels doesn't mean it isn't going to go away. And sure enough, that pain is gone. One of the problems is I could never ride a bicycle anymore because the way it put pressure on the center line kind of seatbelt things. I rigged up something in the hotel in the hospital the other day. I put a pillow over the arm on a chair, sat on it, which kind of just put the weight in the center of your seat bones and didn't have any pain. So I'm really happy about that. What else? Well, I'm getting around doing fine. I took a shower today, shaved, just took my time. I brought a lawn chair, one of these mesh lawn chairs that's very sturdy and has arms on it, not one of these cheap plastic things. I put that in the shower, got a handheld shower, just got in there and just, the other nice thing is I have no stitches. I'm going to somehow paste in some photos over the top of this video later. I have no stitches. I have 3 incisions, I guess you would call it, the 2 incisions on either side where we did the procedure, and then just a small hole in the center below, which is where drain was that I had for the first 2 days, I guess it was, when I was in there. And so I can shower. I actually showered in the hospital before I came home. So, I can't help but think that this minimally invasive method with the small incisions just makes a big deal. It makes a huge improvement. And the other thing is getting the pain meds right, because without the pain meds right, it's just not going to work. You're just going to be absolutely miserable. And I'm also taking the Flexeril. I don't even know if that's the right pronunciation, but to counter muscle spasms. And between that and the TENS unit, works great. Can't think of anything else. If I do, I'll add another clip here. One thing I can add is that I haven't had any trouble with nausea or any of these meds bothering my stomach. I guess some people, oxycodone can make them nauseous, and also for some of the anesthesia coming out of surgery and everything else. I guess I'm very fortunate. I had none of that anywhere through this, so but I did ask them as a preventative thing. They offered, and I asked them to give me the IV injections before the various IV pain meds and even the pills that I took, just to make sure, because I didn't want to be, going through that kind of physical stress of being nauseous if I didn't have to. So that worked out good. If anybody has any questions, same as everybody says on here when they do these videos, feel free to send me an email. I'll be more than happy to try to help and answer questions. I know I had a lot of questions, and I emailed for some people who were very helpful and that had similar surgery. So I'll do some more videos, but I'm pretty much, tomorrow's Sunday. I'll probably do one like tomorrow or Monday, but I feel like I'm kind of where I'm going to be for a number of weeks, because I can get around with no problem. I haven't gone outside yet, but it's no big deal. It's kind of hot, the Florida sun, so just as soon not go out and get hot and sweaty and humid. But other than just tapering down the pain meds, and none of the bending and twisting, which is kind of what everybody says, that's about it.